Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
Go to the heat map and you'll see that right now we have the Japanese yen and the British pound are strong. These may be in a little bit of a pullback mode, but right now we're looking at, I like looking at these two time frames. The one on the right is my 15-minute. The one on the left is my 30-minute time frame. These are the ones I focus on mostly. And I look at this one for seeing if there's a change of where I'm seeing where the pullbacks are. So right now we're looking at the British New Zealand as being strong. The CAD was all the way down here at the bottom earlier. It's starting to change positions a little bit. But we're looking at the British and New Zealand against the Swiss franc and the European euro. So we have that. To check out the news for today, Wednesday, July 7th. We have a little bit of red folder here at 2 o'clock on the U.S. FOMC meetings. That may have some announcement. It's pretty much, but we'll be well past that time. So you'll probably get some decent trading perhaps today. Today's a Wednesday, so usually pretty good on that. 10:30, later on 10:30 tonight, the Aussie has some news coming in. So mainly we'll be looking at for today during our the U.S. Market session at 2 o'clock would be this FOMC meeting. I was looking at the New Zealand CAD, and let me just sort of draw this out the way I generally draw these. Let me get this out.
We also had Daniela wanting to look at the pound yen, but after looking at Hercules, she's not so sure.
Oh, okay. No, Danielle. Can you, Brian, can you move Christine and Eva over? I
Sure,
can't move them over.
Sure, I could do that. I didn't even see. So
this one's already probably starting to get out of the chute a little bit. But here's what I did. Remember I said that we start with the, now we have, there's two ways you can do this. So you can just look at the previous pivot. A lot of times the daily pivot high or the pivot low, that gives you a nice 60 pip range. Well, with our charting system that we can have these Fibonacci lines, and you can see them turning on and off here. These are pre-programmed. These are algorithmic type lines. They have nothing to do with price action. It's just number lines that are drawn on a number line. And you can see that right here, I have a 15-minute line. I usually start with a 15-minute. This gives me a 60 pip range, which is usually a pretty good range to be working with. And you can see that it's all the way down here. It comes down to about, right there is about 62, 63 pips, somewhere around there. So I look and see, I start off and look and see where is price action, what between this blue line, the red line, the green line, which is down here, and then there's another blue line. Where is the current price hanging out in that 60 pip range? And so I'm using the blue one and I'm using the red one. I drew my Fibonacci. Now you could have used this pivot up here. You could have used this pivot right here. It would have gotten you pretty close. But since these are already algorithmic type of price points, these are the ones that a lot of times your brokers and your institutions are using. They're not using all these. They're not looking to see which pivot high, which pivot low, but they are looking to see what range it's playing in. And you can see this little pivot high came up into this. If I draw this fib line between here, oops, come on, where is it? Get the line there. There's blue. If I draw the fib box, you can see that this is my upper 25% of the range. Here's my zero line up there at the top. Here's my lower 25, and here's my middle. And you can see where the price came up, left it, came back down into it, left it, came back down into it, left it, came back down into the 25%, took off, back up into the middle, and now we're looking to see if this is going to come up to retest this. Right now, as we put our Hercules on, we have here on the bottom. This is the same thing as what you saw over here. Over here, this chart is basically superimposed onto the bottom down here with just the symbols, just the New Zealand and the CAD. And you can see right now I've got a 7-5 split on the 15-minute chart. This one's kind of getting out of the way a little bit. But you can see how, but I was drawing this before we got started here this morning. And so it came out of the 20%, came up. We do have upward pressure. And so if I go to my 1-minute chart, we're doing the same thing. We have our zones. Here, and so now I can draw, I know where my upper lines are. And you can see the breakdown. Here's the blue line. These are all the lines that I have here are the 15, the 15. Those 15-minute lines are broken down into thirds with the 5-minute, and those 5-minute lines are broken down into thirds on the 2-minute. And then, so that what that does, it gives me a 7-pip range between here and here, 7 pips. You may wonder where I come up with 7 pips for target. Well, that's where it comes from. Once you get down on this 1-minute chart, these zones are now 7 pips apart, and you can see that they're broken down into thirds. So what we can do now is that we look at, here's our strong move up. We start drawing our Fibonacci's for our 7-pip target. It's going to be like, look at this 1-minute chart right here. And you can see this is where the blue line is up here. This is a 2-minute blue line. There's the red, there's the green, and then back to the blue. And you can see here's this blue line. Look where the price came right up. It came right up to the tick. It came right down here to the tick. This is a 14-pip range. So when it comes back down to this area, if I still have the RCS tool, it's still showing me the strength of the upside, I can take the trade down here and start shooting for this one, and then start shooting for this one. Here's my first target, 7 pips. There's the next target, another 7 pips. There's the 14-pip range. You take the trade, you're done for the day. And all we need is one of these a day. So here's my Fibonacci range, and you'll see that this blue line, now this is a 2-minute blue line. Let me mark that just so you can see it a little bit better. And if you don't have this tool, I have no problem at all with you marking these numbers on your MT4 chart and just superimpose them on your MT4. It's the same spot on all the charts. And so here's my 2-minute blue line. Should have a 2-minute blue line right there. There's my 2-minute blue line. This is the playground is playing that. That's going to be a target. This is going to be a target. This was where the bounce was. And so here's a 2-minute red. Go here. There's a 2-minute red line, 2-minute red line. That's right there. And we have the 2-minute green. And you can, like I say, you can see right where this price bounced right off of those numbers. And I can't say that they're more accurate or less accurate than just drawing the basic fib lines. All I know is that they save an awful lot of drawing time for being within a pip of each other. So here's your fib line, came back, pulled back. You have the strength on the bottom. Let's see, we still have the strength right now. The New Zealand, first currency of the pair, Canadian dollars, the second currency. So the New Zealand's strong. New Zealand's strong by, right now we have a 7-4 split. That's a 3-point spread. It was still, when you came back to this level right in here, if you scroll down, you can see where the Canadian dollar was flipped over. As soon as it flipped back over again, which is right about on the close of this candle right here, if you wanted to, you could have taken the trade with you could have done almost like a market entry just on the top there. It would pull back. The range on this between that's 87.61 to 87. You're only looking at 5 pips. We're looking at 15 pip stop. So our stop is be way down here. And you can actually probably go, if you get a close above a 5-minute, I like to see a 5-minute close above these key lines. If we can put a 5-minute marker on here to where the 5-minute candle is going to close on this 1-minute chart. If I got this set to at 740, let's see, 740. Well, right now this 5-minute candle just closed right down here. Now, this is the first minute of this first 1-minute candle. So basically, we'd have to wait for a 5-minute candle close. We have to come over here to 45, and as soon as it hits that line and the close, if we see a 1-minute candle close above this red line, we know we're good to go. Take that trade. Now you could have pulled it back here off the screen line, but you see it right now. It went from the green, coming up. There's our 7 pips right there. If it breaks through that, we're looking at the 2-minute line, which is up here, set 7 more pips. We have good strength down here. We have good strength here. We look at our other time frames. On our 5-minute, New Zealand's still strong, not as much. It's got a 2-point spread. New Zealand is still strong over here on the 15, not as strong, but it's got a 3-point spread here. I like seeing 3-point spreads when I take that trade because that knows you have a little bit of that wind to your back to come in and take this trade. Brian's probably already in this one by now.
I'm already in several. I'm not in I'm not in the NZD CAD because it's not spread. I'm in NZD yen and the euro pound. I got bigger spreads.
Yeah. Now, if you're looking at, again, we can look at euro pound.
Keep that right there for me for a second, okay?
Yep.
Here's a euro. Euros per week. Like yours.
Here's the pound. It's I mean, make sure you're on a 14 period on these.
Yeah. Your euro is red.
My euro is red. Yeah. My euro is always the red one. My blue is always the US. And then CADs. These are the color codes that I've used. You can use whatever color you want. I just like. I can just look at the color and know pretty much what the pair is.
CAD is orange. You got black at the end. That's my difference.
Yeah, black is the yen is black.
And
this was Frank is the light blue. Aussie is green.
There you go. You have a white background. Once I change my
just have a little bit. Just have a little bit of a gray background, which helps a little bit.
I'm gonna make my yen gray instead of since I have a black background. There we go. Close enough.
Okay. And the nice thing about this, if you really want to, you can go and you can label these things. You know, I don't have a label because it just, you'll get labels with everything, but in this particular case, it may not be a bad idea. Come into the settings, and over here under your scale, you can look at indicator name label. You can check that, and you'll see that all these Fibonacci lines are labeled right here. You can see the labels on them, and then it also labels the ones down below. I'll just keep this on for right now. So if I look at my 1-minute chart, I can see, okay, my red blue line, here's a fib supply right here. Here's a price, 87.63. Now this a lot of times this little window won't quite align with it just because of the scaling involved, but the numbers are good. Here's the blue line, 87.70. Here's the red line, 87.63. Here's the green line, 87.56. And then back to the next blue line, which is right here. Now, these are all 7 pips apart. If I draw my little measuring tool here, measure it, you can see these are roughly 7 pips apart. And you can see it goes from green line to red line, closes above, goes to the next blue line. Now, this is the top of this is a 61% Fibonacci. You know how I drew these orange Fibonacci lines. Well, this is basically just that zone of the Fibonacci's, but you can see that oftentimes you'll get it. Sometimes it stops right with this, but a lot of times it stops. If this one breaks, it's probably going to come up here and at least tag that. And so this is actually would have been the first trade of the day. I didn't take this because I was getting things set up, but
I already took the Euro Kiwi once. I'm taking it again.
Euro Kiwi
and strictly based on the Hercules.
Euro Kiwi,
not all of it.
Let's take a look and see what he's looking at. The Euro Kiwi, that'd be this one right here. And again, we have let me just take some of this stuff off to clean it up a little bit.
I've got 2 winning trades on the Euro Kiwi. I wouldn't take it now. 2 trades in 30 minutes.
But here you go. Here's our Hercules tool, the RCS tool. You see it right now. I'm on the Euro Kiwi. This is only going to just show just the Euro and the Kiwi. The Euro is the red one. The Kiwi is the yellow one. 7-2 spread. 7-3 spread, 7-3 spread. Now let's see where our zones are. I'm going to go to my 15-minute chart. Like I said, you can draw these lines on your MT4 chart just as easily. It just saves me a lot of time trying to draw this while I'm trying to show these charts. I'm on my 15-minute chart. Make sure I'm on 15. And so right now I'm looking at the price. Here's the range of here's the blue fib line. Here's another blue fib line. So this is my blue range. I'll unlock this. This is my blue range. Let's say it goes from blue to blue oftentimes, but kind of stops in the middle. So here's my blue. This is just the, let's see, why am I seeing another one there? Should be on the 15-minute. Oh, I know why, because I'm in the wrong blue one. Here's the blue right here. This is the blue. See where price was the other day when I first drew this thing. Unlock. Let's move this one down to the next blue section. It's right here, right at this blue section here. Let me put the price
I wouldn't jump in right now. Yeah, it's right
No,
up.
right now I'm just showing you how to draw these things.
Yeah, my target's right where price is at. It was already done.
Let's see, this blue one right here is you can see is this fib SR is 1.6833. So just put this line of 6833 right about there. Lock it. Here's my blue, red, green. You can see right now it is trading right inside. It's right from the blue. It's hanging right at the red. If I were to draw my Fibonacci's on this one, let me mark the other ranges here. Here's the red one. This is at 67.71. This is the 15-minute red. And here's a 15-minute green. You can see that's at 67.09. I'm just highlighting this so you can see them a little bit better. And that's 67.70, 67.09. This is going to be a red. This is going to be a green. So this is our playground. This is the range these are the range we're playing. You can see this was the playground earlier today. Came back down. It's right at this crossover. So when it's right at these little pivot, these areas where it's breaking between the top and the bottom, I'm going to be looking for some overshoot areas. And the overshoot is going to be, now, you can see this was the origin of the move. You see it came right from here. Here it came down, hit the green line, it wicked a little bit down below. If I draw this down over here and see how much did this thing wick below, you're going to see that it fell right within one of two places. One, right within the 20% zone of the 20% overshoot. That's significant. And so that's what we'd be looking at. Now we're at the red zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be drawing this pretty much between this red zone. Now that it's right at the red zone, I'm going to be looking at these overshoot. This is right at the red zone. So I'm going to be looking at this getting a bounce off of here, and it may go up higher up to this. But if it breaks, it comes back down and retests. This is what we call a pass and check. It passes the red line, closes, comes back, checks the red line, doesn't go back up above it. Now we're looking at it coming down into this region down here. So I'm going to draw some fibs at this point. Here's my this is basically the 20% zone of the blue line. And I'll show you how. If I come up here to where we're still in this red to blue zone, and here's my 20% line. Here's my overshoot. So I can take this and I can draw another little, so this is I'll draw a little zone right in here. Call this the overshoot zone if it's overshooting this range, because it may break through here. It may come into this 20% zone. And I'll show you another thing to be looking at with that in just a second. Here's the overshoot. So if it comes into that overshoots, comes back up, and then maybe take off. This is just be a head fake. We also have a little trend line. We can go from this trend to wherever this stops. We can draw a trend line that becomes our new trend. Now you can see that this little pivot here, if you draw a line from this to this pivot, you can see that this pivot line was broken. And this was a straight shot up. So I would not be surprised to see this line break and come back down and retest this bottom 25%. Here's our pivot low. Here's our pivot off the high. It bounced off of that. Here's the anchor. Here's the hit. Bounced off of that, came back up, retested this trend line. up top. And so we're just showing you how to read technical analysis, how to read the charts. There's a pivot high right there. Right now, from this point inside here, this was all, you were in no man's land, but it was between, you can see it wicked up. You can see how it wicked right up into this blue line. It wicked up, couldn't hold it. Came back down, bounced off of this, broke through, came up, retested the trend line, and now it's coming on down. The next stop on the line is going to be this little wick over wick right here. You can see this little area. It's trying to teach you how to read the charts. There's a little wick. There's a little wick over wick. Let's put this as a target. I'll look at this as being a target zone. Let me go to a lower time frame chart so you can see this a little bit better, see how it's superimposed.
3 winning trades.
Let's get into this one.
No, I didn't. I'm just looking at some ones. I just got out of my Kiwi yen.
And now take note of this 1 minute chart. Remember I told you about how the price finds these little 7 pip areas. Look where this price is right now. It's right at this line, 67.64. Now this line was here way before the price ever came. Let's see what it does when it actually gets to that line. I'll superimpose it here so you can see this a little bit better. This is on the 67.64-ish. Right there. See how it just wicked down, found the line, came back down. We're only talking probably 1 pip. That's probably, and the spread, right now we have a 3. Now one thing I don't like about this pair right now is we have a 3-point spread on this thing. You know, if you got into this trade, you'll see where that red line is, where your price is. You have a big spread on that. That's more of a spread than what I'm willing to take. But you can see how the price has found the line, bounced back up, still has the strength, not as much though. We're on a 1 minute chart. It has a little bit of it's losing a little bit of ground, but it's still stronger. New Zealand is the second currency of the pair. It's showing the strength. The strength is to the downside. You can see how this price came right to this green line, stopped, retraced, paused, came right down, hit the red line, came back. Right, actually, this was the higher time frame line right here. Broke it, came back down to the next 7 pips. Here's the next target down here. That's the 67.57 line. And you can just do this all day long. Have your strength, know which direction it is, and trade that direction. Go for your 7 pips, and you're out of there. Go for 14 if you feel lucky. And with that, I've got to take off out of here. I have an appointment today. Brian and Eva and Christine are going to take over. You're going to be in good hands. Go ahead and start sharing your charts there, Brian.
You got it. Let me get over here, and I'm going to kind of take them through the background of some of the stuff. That way they get a understanding of what you're talking about too. Let's see.
Actually, quickly, guys, there is in the Q&A, somebody would like you to, anonymous actually.
Sure.
Check out the Kiwi.
I'll jump on that one. Let me find my screen thing. Here we go. Let me move that over. All right, Al, you're set, I think.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Eva. Thanks, Christine. And
welcome.
thanks, everybody.
Have a good day.
Again, thanks, everybody, for being here. And I will see everybody tomorrow. I won't be here back today. I'll be back later on this morning, but we'll be well done with our room by this time. So anyway, happy trading, stay green. And these guys know what they're doing. You're in good hands. So take care.
I'm not so sure. We're going to find out. All right. And everything you've heard about from Al, forget it. No.
Yeah. I'm still here, Brian.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Have a great day, Al.
Okay. All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right, guys. All right. We're looking at the NZD CAD. Let me go ahead and just do some basic stuff here and kind of give you the idea of, for those who are in the room that may, it's moving a little fast. Maybe you don't understand the numbers. Let me just show you basically what it is. Basically, when you're looking at a chart, I'm looking at NZD CAD. I'm not looking like I want to jump into it yet, although it looks like it's moving up nicely. We got this little issue here. So we got a little bit of time. So what happened is basically we came in at some point, and most recent price is key. And we came in and started drawing these these lines, looking back to the left historically, there's nothing that I can see there. Looking at major price points where things seem to hesitate at. So what ends up happening is you draw these lines where we know that price is going to hesitate. I was doing this with every chart. So it took a lot of time. And a developer friend of mine came to Dallas and he said, you're just drawing fib numbers. I didn't know what a fib number was until we did that. So in essence, what we're looking for is our playground. I would assume, and I mentioned this before, I wouldn't jump in yet on this one. I would assume that there's something right here just based on that look right there. So we've got a possible breakout, but we've got this little pivot here and everything goes historically back. You know, you look at multiple time frames as Al is doing. He's looking at, 15, 5, and 1. I could go 15, 1 hour, 4 daily and still do the same thing. What I want to make sure you guys understand is that even though this looks like it's chaos, everything's set to order. There's order in it. There's no banker, institution, or government or big business that's going to sit here and go, well, I'm waiting for that pivot high. They don't know what pivot highs and pivot lows are. They're basically trading human nature. They know that most 90% of traders lose money. So they're anticipating that you're going to do exactly what you've always done. And they're going to take your money, basically what's going to happen. So they're not sitting at their computers waiting for you to necessarily make a mistake. They already know where you're going to make your mistakes at, and then they take your money. So what, in essence, what this is, and I could trade without the moving averages if I wanted to, just basically using price point action. So let me get this off of here and kind of giving you guys a historical look at how the not Hercules tool, but the I guess the Hercules is a power one. Atlas is what we call this one. This is the SRV1 on the FXCM. So I'll come in here. Let me see if maybe it's like this. See if I can show indicators. Okay, I did. I took it off. So I'm going to go and add my indicator back. And it's just support and resistance tool. And I've got to figure out the clock for this. So let me go over here real quick. I think it's 162. I'm almost positive it's 162. Yeah. So what we're doing in 162 is based on the 15-minute chart. That's a clock. Now I believe on the trading view version of this, the clock is already estimated for you. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at my lines of what are the strongest historically. Now, if you look back, we've got this red line here. And on the trading view, it's very, very dim. I make mine very, very bright. And then blue represents a wall. So I told you up here that this is kind of concerning to me. Well, we approached the wall, but we can tell that this is our playground. And what I basically did is I come in here and I just pull here. And this becomes my real playground. Where do I want to get in? Where do I want to get out? So if I'm wanting to get in, I would set a market. And this is why I work fast. I know I'm pretty aggressive. I'm not doing position sizing, guys. So I'm just doing it quick and easy. And boom, I'm doing a set and forget right now. And basically what this is I want, if price comes back to the 50 mark, which is this line right here, it's going to enter the trade. But I'm noticing here that the spread on this is pretty intense because my price is above it. So I don't like the entry for that for one. So I'm already in it. That's how fast it went because of the spread. I'm not real big on that, but it's a demo, so it's not a big deal. I don't trade live when I'm on a live. I'm OCD, so I got to get it straight. It can take me an hour to do that. There we go. So basically what I was looking for is a true to price come back down here. I have another tool that gives me confirmation if this is a good trade. I don't think necessarily this is wrong. I don't think I'm going to win because of the spread being so wide on my FXCM. We're talking 5 pips here almost. Not a great trade to take as far as so you need to be aware of those because it threw me into a different place as an entry. I wanted to be down here. I'm up here. So that means my target's even further away and closer, and notice where it stopped. So it's not a great place. I'm not going to move my stop anymore, but I know that when it gets to about here, I'm going to get stopped out. And so because of spread. So not a great pair to trade necessarily, but it's fun to do on demo. So when we're looking at this, I have one more tool that I use for confirmation more than anything now. It used to be the beast. And it is still my beast when it comes to swing trading. It is not my beast when it comes to scalping like we're doing The RCS, the Hercules tool, is my beast for that. So like Arrow, I do like this part. Notice how I said I wanted to get in at the 50. This dark green means that's the zone. That's where I wanted to get in. And my stop would have been below that zone. That would have been the perfect, but because of the spread being so wide, that's big. So all in all, it may work out. Not a great place to take the trade though, but you can see why this now, historically, this tool will tell me, okay, where did price blast off from? So I keep my screen very, very clean. And I'm done. I squish it up just in case I want to go down to 5 minute and look a little lower. I don't go down to the 1 minute like Al does, but that doesn't mean you can't. It moves too fast for me. I'm a swing trader by nature. So I do all my drawings on the 15 and then I drop it to the 5, even though I have a 5 minute up here. And then I want to look at it. And you probably will see, this is that little zone of 50. See, my stop is still down here. We're in good shape overall, but it's just not a great spread. My target is in the middle of a supply area. Where does supply area happen? At the 76, which we knew it was going to happen. So it's going to get up to here and it's going to bounce. This could take a while. Now the question will be, is can our power hold on? Right now, Kiwi CAD is good. Kiwi CAD's good. Now mine's set to 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15, and 5. So the 1 hour and 30 minutes are on the top that I watch the most. So they're good up top, and they're good on the 15. This one's tightening up. So when I'm going back to my chart, and I'm looking at where we're at right now, we have 3 closed positions, 3 winning trades. Right now I'm sitting on, there's a CAD. The pound yen, I jumped into that just because we had somebody ask about the pound yen. So let's look at that one real quick. And this one may work out, but I still haven't got back to break even yet. So that sounded like something just took. I don't know if that was on the back end there. Let's go a little bit slow on this. I'm using the FXCM platform. Not that you have to. We're developing this for MT4 as well, all the little tools that we have. Okay, so again, I don't really need this 200 moving average, to be honest. That's kind of far for the 15-minute chart, although it's there and it's obviously relevant to the point. But if you notice, what's more relevant is the 76 line. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this purple one to get it out of the way. There. So here's our playground again. What does the orange mean? Orange means this is supply. Where's the supply sitting at? Right at a red line, dead center. Now that red line is a line based on price. Okay, it's a line based on price, and we're just looking for an area. This is the area that's being marked as previously somewhere there was here's your drop, base, and a huge drop. So when this price moved away from here, there's price orders sitting here that did not get filled, and that's what we're battling now. It came up into our zone, fell away, came back up in. I'm hoping it doesn't fall away further than this one. If I can fall down to here, that's a good entry point. I would have no problem taking a long at the 61. Why? Because when I draw this 61 out, it's been here, right here, boom, 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 4 candles in a row. It resisted it here, blew through, came back, touched it, blew up, came back and touched it, blasted through it. That doesn't mean it's non-existent though. So we want to give it credence there. And then a key thing for me is to definitely see where we are on this pound, yen, pound, yen, pound, a little closer on the 15. And we flipped on this is just a pullback right here. So I don't worry about this much. I'm really worried about the bigger term. Pound, yen, pound, yen, pound, yen. So we're in good shape. Not this one. This one's only 2. So this could be a slow grow for a bit, but we would expect that considering where we're sitting at. 1, 2, 3, 4 times we've done here and couldn't get through it. So not a necessarily great entry, because look where my entry was, but I did it because I knew I was going to be showing you guys this. And now what I do is I just watch the power meter against the trades that I'm currently in and be careful not to take a trade that is correlated opposite of the trade that you're in. So if you're making money on one, you're losing money on another, because then you become a break-even trader. So I'm very careful. I've got the Kiwi CAD, pound yen, and euro pound. So they're really not correlated too much at all, other than you got the pound in two of them. And that's how I do it. I keep it real simple. I don't look at trend. I look strictly at the power. I mean, momentum trading is what this is. If we were going to go to a daily chart, then I'd be looking at trend. So if I'm dropping over here to pound yen, notice I have another tool down here. Let me see what it tells me here. Pound yen. Pound yen is a buy in the big term, and you can look at all the green, but look at this huge supply area. It's going to be a beast to get through. Doesn't mean it won't. It's just going to be a beast.
Brian.
That is the daily for the pound yen.
That's the daily. Okay.
But note, here's what you got to notice about this, and it goes with any time frame, guys. Notice how we have a nice 45 to 60 degree angle trend. Then we went sideways. Then we had a 45, and then we went flat. And this could be a falling back down, because we are at the red line. Here's your red line. Most likely we're going to try to come back to the blue and then continue up, because it's going to work in with it. First, we got to get to the green. This is if I was teaching daily, if I was teaching swing trading, I would be all over this. Not immediately. I would come in here just like we do. Nothing different. It's the same thing. And I would just pull my lines. And notice where my green zone is for confirmation. It's right here at the 23. So in essence, the same thing on a slower time frame. I'm looking to be long right here. And I'm looking to be short up here, or get out of my trade if I'm long. That's all I'm doing. I'm setting my playground. Now, I could take this one that's an overshoot. If this ever breaks, then we're probably on a downtrend. But notice how we've come into this 76 line. And if I drew this completely across, you can see this is a key price point. And it's actually 154.25 if you're a banker. But it doesn't change. It's still the same trading. It's just slowed down. This is a little bit more lifestyle friendly. You don't have to, I literally spend 15 to 20 minutes a week on my swing trading at most. Whereas when I'm scalping with you guys, I'm having to be here to watch it, because you're going for 7 pips. You're looking for a momentum trade, not a trend trade. So 2 different styles of trading with the same strategies, basically. It all comes down to how much time you have. So let's look at our power meter again. Pound, I'm in the pound CAD, not pound CAD, Kiwi CAD. We're good with Kiwi CAD. We're in the pound yen. Pound yen. Everything's good with the pound yen. Just gonna have to be patient. And then with the euro pound. Pound euro, and pound euro. Yeah, we're good. And then we just sit and wait unless there's a different particular pair that you guys want to see. When I'm scalping, I don't go against I basically come to the Hercules, and I look at the top 3 and the bottom 3. And if they're matching up, like we can go Aussie US. I mean, let's look at the Aussie US. That's brand new. It's not going to conflict with anything I have. I don't have a US pair or an Aussie pair. Let's start. Okay, I like it. Obviously, I do. I like everything. I'm looking a little left. I'm seeing a little bit of a problem here, but I'm going to let this thing load up and tell me. I'm going to have some red zones above me. My eyes, I'm probably going to have 2 of them once it loads up. There's one of them. So what I would do, of course, I'm not going to take this yet. It's too close. That doesn't mean it's not going to blast, because momentum's in my favor. Okay, now looking at a 15-minute chart, what I'd want to do is I would put an order in right here. If it goes up and through here and touches any of this, I'd put an order here at 75.30-ish. That would be my first place, and then an order here at 61. So if I'm going to go ahead and put a circle here, because this is what I do with my, there's a wick over wick. There's one entry place. I do this with swing. I call it my aggressive, my conservative, and my moderate entries. There's my other one. And then obviously this one right here. What I want to see is if I'm marking it, and these are primarily circles based on these numbers here. I see this wick over wick a little bit, so this could be a little bit off. We're just getting a guesstimate right now. We're not jumping in yet because we got to make sure we have 7 pips, but we're close. So then I'm going to take this down to the 5-minute chart. Oh yeah, there's my zone right there. This is what I want. That's my better entry. See how I've got the green there? There's my better entry. Does not mean, but notice we also have a new supply right in front of us on top of this other one. So I would sit right here and I would go entry. And you're asking me, why am I doing it that high? I'll show you here in a second. Because I'm a little bit, at times I can be lazy. So basically what I'm doing is, oh, that's a nice entry right there. There's a couple ways to draw candles and zones of price. And like we've seen with Arrow, to me, this is a little bit more precise. It just doesn't give you the alerts. So what does that mean? That means I could draw this one's body of candle to base. But the real zone is all the way at the top of the wick. If it'll let me, it may not let me pull it up all the way up there. That's really only about 1 pip. And that may be why it's having a problem. Yeah, it's not even a pip. So 75.25 is my area. Notice there's nothing down here that tells me I want to be in it at this price point, not on the 5-minute. And this one's kind of in no man's land, but I really like it because of looking back to the left. Once was resistance, now it's demand. And so if you know me, now I'm in a position right now to go back to my power grid. And this is the Aussie CAD. I want to see where the Aussie US is. Aussie US, Aussie US, Aussie US. I'm in. So what I would do now is I'd have a close market. This is my aggressive entry. I'd come in. It fits my playground. And I'm in for a position. I'm just above where I wanted to be, but it's okay. I've got my other entry here. So if it comes down, I'm adding to the position. And now we just wait and watch. Now, notice I have to get through this pink area first, but on the 15, it's not there. That particular one. So there, I'm done. I'm a little bit more aggressive than Al as far as, well, I'm a lot more aggressive than Al. Getting an entry, but I watched that power grid. I'm digging into this zone a little bit. I like the bottom entry better, just to be honest. I'm going to take a loss on the pound yen, I believe. Before I take that, close that position, I'm going to look at the grid. Pound yen. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Take my loss smaller than intended. It's better to have a smaller loss than a bigger loss. I'm still profitable for the day, though.
We can't see your trading chart, Warren.
Yeah, I know. How about that?
That's good.
I had to close out a position. I'm getting ready to hit the NZD CAD for the one that working. It's slowly working out. Matter of fact, I'm going to go over here while this is waiting. I may look at this real quick and close it out for the profit since I'm over 6 now. Yeah, there it is. You just saw it close out for another profitable trade. That one's done. That doesn't mean I can't trade it again. And the reason I would say I'd be very interested in trading this again is because we're getting into the different part of the playground up here. And so where would I be? Right here, right here. And this is your most conservative, obviously. But if you're scalping, you're really not looking at this. By this time, the momentum's really changed. Okay, when you're scalping, you're looking for these right in this area. And we could very well do it. Let me see, pull my power. Y'all can't see that though when I do that. You can't see the power thing, can you?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
Okay.
We're looking at it.
Okay, so NZCAD, NZCAD, NZCAD. I went all over doing this again. And we're below the 76. I could do it. My gut says do it, but the spread's so daggum big. Normally this would be a nice picture for aggressive, but it's a big spread. So I'm going to wait for a better entry down here if it happens to happen. We got 7.3 on the. So we did really good with that. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 trades, 3 out of 4 that have done well. Let me see what we got on the open positions. Right now we're fighting that Aussie CAD a little bit, or Aussie US again. My bad. I would love for it to hit that second entry. That would be nice. And we're not far from it. And this is where we know we come back and we use our tools that we have. And there's order inside of chaos. We need it. Look at the measurement of this candle here. It needs to be it's going to be about the same. The same thing with this one. It's going to be about the same. This is just a normal pullback to me, it looks like. This could be a good place to add to the position. Let's look at our power grid again. Aussie US, Aussie US, Aussie US. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add to my position. I'm going to remove this one since it's so close and go ahead and add to it now manually. I am not doing position size, guys, just so understand. I'm just eyeballing it. Okay, so now we've got 2 positions on it. And I would like to bring this down to where this stop is. That's what I do when I add to position, go to 1 stop. It does increase the risk on one position, but that's just my style. Everybody hanging so far with me? No questions yet?
Yes, we're good.
Good. You want to make trading as boring as possible. That way, when you come into the Hawkeye room, all you can do is tell jokes. That's the key.
There's humor in our class.
We got to have humor. If you're going to spend your time staring at a screen, you might as well have some fun doing it.
Well, you got to be half nuts to enjoy doing that, like we all are, it seems to be.
Or whole nuts.
Oh, whole nuts.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely don't want to discriminate against us whole nuts. We're all in. There's no marbles left, I don't think.
They rolled away.
Pretty much. I'm going to pull this in just a bit. We're looking at this on a 15. I think the picture is going to be a little bit better of this on a 5 because of this movement here. And you can see, where did we come in? We entered right at, well, without spread, came in at the moving average, right at the top of our zone. Remember the wick over wick? It came right into that zone. Let's jump down to the 5 for a little bit more technical. Here's our zone. Remember, you guys are looking for these, what we call, what do you call those? Not drop, base drop. Help me out here.
Oh,
Rally-based rallies?
Rally. Yeah, I couldn't think of the word rally. I've tried to get away from all those words. Rally. Here's our one candle base, and our rally out. That's a strong move out. That's why this was identified. This tool is pretty extensive. And we're having it designed for MT4 and trying to get it designed for TradingView. Let me explain to you behind the scenes what this does. This is a beast, especially if you're swing trading. Basically, some of the stuff down here is you don't need anymore. We're going to get rid of this. But basically, you can come in and determine based on what price, if you understand order flow with the market. In the back when I was in college, when I went to New York, they actually had stacks of paper orders in the market. And basically you could look at the beginning of the day and you weren't allowed to say anything, but if you were at somebody's table and you could see a stack of sells bigger than their stack of buys, that you knew that the day was probably going to be a down day. So you could look at the stack of papers. Obviously now we don't have stacks of papers. That's why I was talking about the dark pools book, Secrets of the Dark Pools, because basically now we have computer system that tells us where the orders are sitting at. When you have a move away like this with one candle, there's orders still sitting here that didn't get filled, whether that be an institution or a bank or even us. Somebody with some money made this happen. And so what it does is it identifies, I think the default comes to 6 candles in the base. If you notice, I have 1. I put mine down to 2. That makes it strong. In addition to that, you have the ability to determine, is it an extra strong move out or is it just a strong move? If it's extra strong, in this case, I use strong for my swing. I use extra strong for my scalping. All this calculations behind the scenes provides us the picture of what order flow is and price action. That's all it is. So now our one Aussie position is profitable. Our other one is not profitable, but they're at break even at this point. And so now we got to sit and wait. And it's fun to wait. For me, it's fun to wait. If I hit this target, I will move my stop up. I actually won't even, honestly, unless there's a catastrophic move down, I'll be closing this out for a lot smaller loss than I have there. I'm actually looking at anything that comes closing below 75.20 is going to be a consideration for a potential closeout of the position. I love this stuff. It's faster on the 15, but I do love the daily. I can flip through, 20, 30 pairs within 20 minutes and pretty much know on my swing whether to go or not. And we're going to start that up on Mondays again. And it's only going to be for you guys, Auvoria Prime people, those who are in Hawkeye, which is going to be nice. And we may add a Saturday in there too, something that makes it a lot more lifestyle friendly for you guys. I just have to look at my schedule. Now,
Talking about Monday nights?
Possible Monday nights and Saturday mornings, yeah.
Okay.
Because Monday nights, basically on swing trading, it doesn't really matter when you get in. I found that my better entries are on Tuesday, or it's Tuesday at 2 in the morning. So if we do a Monday night session and we do a set and forget, which is a lot of what I do for my swing, then a lot of times the entries will trigger overnight, and then you just manage it.
So Brian, do you do any crypto at all?
I do a
it's
little
good on the weekends. It's really good on the weekends. I found.
I do it I do a little of it. I haven't done it the last few weeks because we've been trying to focus in on what we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Al and I've got so many things going on behind the scenes that I'm trying to clear things up with Auvoria Prime. These tools, we're going to try to make them available to everybody that are in the Hawkeye room. I'm paying for, or I will pay for it, and I will probably reimburse, but paying for a developer to take the language that this is written in, all the tools we have here that is written in, and put it into an MT4 platform and trading view. So that way there's I don't have that, I can't do it this way, because the key is to keep everything simple. And it doesn't matter. You can trade cryptos. You just have to, before you go trading live on cryptos with the strategy that we're using, you just got to find out what their personalities are. They move a little bit different than this, but it's still going to be the same. It's still price action, a little bit different as far as Bitcoin. Cryptos are not quite they're more retail traders currently still, for the most part. It's us people who believe that the world is changing and we want to take the dollars from the wealthy. The wealthy don't like that.
No, it's not.
They frown upon that.
Yeah, they don't really like that a lot. So let's look at our power grid again.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Kev would like us to look at the euro yen.
Euro yen. Let's see what we got. Euro yen. So it looks like the yen is stronger than the euro. So that we would expect a downtrend on the euro yen. And we got it. Okay, so we got a little bit of problem here. I can already tell I'm in my lower 25% already. I would not take it immediately. However, I like it short. Let's see what everything populates once it fully populates. That does not mean it won't come down here straight away. It's just a little bit. I look back here at this. This would be the entry that I would have just a little higher up. It's almost done. Once it's done, then we can shrink it up and put our playground. Now, my eyes have already drawn to the fact I'm probably below in my lower 23%. Got to be clear. Yeah. So I don't need the tool necessarily. So my best interest as far as entries is to wait for it to come. Notice this, if this thing blows down and creates a candle like this will become supply. My entry, I really like this right here, but it's against my rules currently. The reason I like it is because if you look left, this has been a price point all the way. It's also 130.75, which is a quarter number. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and put a 130.75, set and forget. Since this is, and I would probably do this normally. I usually wouldn't do it for you guys. I mean, I would do it in my own account, to be honest, because I'm aggressive. I don't want anybody chasing me. That's my biggest fear, because you got to know your personality.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's different.
Yeah, I'm definitely get in. I don't mind any losses at all. Yeah, I don't like this one. I'm going to go ahead and now looking at it, I'm going to pull it up to here. Still looking left, because I can see right here that wick over wick. I like that one better. A couple reasons. Because we're going to come in this red zone. And I'm not in it, so I'm not losing anything. I know that most likely this is going to have a pretty good bounce. Why? Because it had an overshoot here and blasted away. Obviously, looking left. Always remember, look left, look left, look left. This is a rally base rally. Yes, it didn't qualify for my zone, but I can promise you most likely it's going to be on a 5-minute. And it's just because this zone was already tested. So if I was drawing these zones myself, it would be looking like this. If you look what happened, it already tested it right here. And so I've got to pay attention to that. Doesn't mean I have to give it a lot of weight, but I need to be aware that it's there. I would love for this thing to just touch this red line and come back up. And if it closes below the red line, the game changes a little bit for me. So let's look at it on the 5. That is a 5-minute. I need to look at it on a 15. My bad. That may change everything. May not change anything.
One or the other.
It's one or the other. And the key thing is it's either going to go up or down.
That's it.
Yeah, it's not hard. People say I can't trade. Well, it's either going to go up or it's going to go down.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm going to pull an owl here. Yeah. So this is another reason why I like it up here so far. Yeah, we have a lot of room down. But let's see if we get a close on the 15-minute below this. That would be huge, but I think we're going to get a little bit of a bounce. Normally, I would just jump on this, but the power grid wasn't so strong. That it's getting stronger, though. Big pullback on the Aussie. I can see it on my price chart, too. I got to watch that because it's coming into that zone that I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still strong across the board. Euro yen, I think it's going to move past that. And it did, obviously. Now we've got a game changer. Knowing there's nothing there, I would now go in and drop my entry to the 130.70 mark. And that's my aggressive entry. And if I'm not going to make it happen until it happens. So I'm going to leave this alone just for a second. Notice my target's right here before this 27 mark, which is good. My bets, we are going to have a kickback here, but my stop's way up here. So everything looks really good for an entry at the 130.70. And let's look at it, drop it down to the 5, see what the 5 minutes doing for us. Well, it's not doing. I want to see this thing finish. We got 3 minutes before this thing finishes. Everything looks good. I think we're going to come back up in here. I don't know if I can get that down to the red line. There we go. As close as it's going to let me get. And again, we're expecting a pull. It wouldn't surprise me if this thing can't close below here. If it starts pulling back. Remember, Forex is going, it likes to go with the mean. So let me jump over here to Aussie US and see if I have to do some management here. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some management. A big change. Big change. Okay, this is the area of concern. We need to see a reaction based on this line right here where we're at, because where price once was supply, became demand. I would expect it to come down to 75.10 at the most. At that point, if it doesn't, I'm getting out. Because there's no reason to take a horrible trade. But man, that's strong. And I don't know why. We didn't have news today.
No.
That's a rejection and a half. Let's see what our power tells us. It's got to be changing across the board. Aussies 4, US. There you go. Ooh, yeah, it's getting close. This is pullback. Obviously, the US got strong initially. We're still okay. If this thing flips, we're pretty much done. But we are coming into a critical place. And we'll let this play out just so we can watch what not to do since it's demo. Tendencies. Trading tendencies. Well, the strength meter is strong. Therefore, we've got this green line. We've got this blue line here. We got plenty of room to move. We can pull this down here like this, and we start moving our stops, and we start dragging them down. When you start dragging your stops down, well, there's a zone there. I know I'm going to be right. And what happens is inevitably you end up doing this once and it works out, and you do it twice and it works out. And then the third time you do it again and it doesn't. And every profit that you took for the day is wiped out because you took a 40 pip loss. It's inevitable. So yeah, what happens is it gives us confidence because, oh, we moved our stop and it worked this time because everything worked. Sometimes it just doesn't, and you just got to close it out. But we're going to watch this one to see. Hopefully I got the euro yen. We're not in it yet, so that tells me everything too. Hasn't bounced back quite yet. The fact that we have a moving average crossing and the fact that we had such a strong downtrend on that one last candle on a 5 minute, and we're starting this next 5 minute on the way down, tells me that we're probably going to. And as soon as I close it out, guys, just know, as soon as I close it out, you're going to have an extended green candle.
That's always the way.
It's going to happen.
Nature of the beast.
Yeah. Yeah. And normally I'd have been out by now. I'd have been stopped out and let it go. But we learn from watching what not to do. Because your psychology is you want to win. You hate losing. You're tired of losing. Everybody else is talking about how they're winning all the time. And so you're going to do everything you can to, I got to win. I got to win. And you end up prolonging your loss and your pain. And I really don't care at this point. You get used to losses. I mean, it's kind of like golfing. I said yesterday, golfing with water and hazards. You're always afraid of going in the hazard, but we do it all the time. It's not like you haven't done that before. So my biggest fear is being in the fairway. That way I seem to always get in the fairway then. You create what you fear the most. There's that bounce. There's that bounce. We should get into it. This is nice pullback. A little stronger bounce than I would like, but okay. And we may not make it. It may not get through the spread. Let's see what our power grid says. Yen, euro, that's still good. Yen, euro's even better. Even better. Yeah, we're good. My bet is we're going to turn before we get in. So since it's touched, I'm going to do a market entry. This is if I was watching it, I would have done a market entry as soon as it touched that red line. And we'll go boom. And then I'm going to remove the other one. Here we go. And we'll let it play out. This one play out. This one looks much more in our favor. Everything plays out. All of them are stops above these moving averages. We've got a trend line here that's been broke. Everything's in shape. This is a great picture. Does not mean it's going to work out. All right, we'll do that later today. And let's go back to our fifth. I like that on the 5 minute for sure. Going back to this one. Still looks good. And it may creep all the way up here. But overall, the picture still looks really, really nice on the 15. If you got it looking good on the 5 and the 15, you're pretty, you may have a little longer than you want to be in the trade. Because I like to have that. Like this morning, we had the 2 trades within 30 minutes. Those are nice. Sometimes it just doesn't work that way. Okay, so we're bouncing off the area that we aggressive, moderate, conservative. We gone down to the conservative. That was our line in the sand. We hit the demand zone just like we thought we would. And so we're still okay with this. This is the 15 minutes. So I am going to clean this up just a bit while we're here. Because now that we've had some sort of a bounce, it would be weird for us to keep this down here. So I'm going to move this to this area here. That's only 13. That's good. And on my swing trading, guys, just so you guys know, brokers know if you're a good trader or not. It's not like somebody's sitting there watching your account going, okay, this guy's an idiot. We're going to make sure as soon as he gets 1 pip away, we're going to pop him out. It's not quite that, but they have computer systems in their systems that they know what your winning percentages are. If they wanted to know and you're a bad trader, I found this to be true on my swing trading. I haven't noticed it necessarily on the scalping part, but on swing trading, and you don't have to do it this way if you follow me. I put my stop 600 pips away. The reason being is I don't want any broker stopping my trade. I want to be responsible for the stopping of the trade. And it's kind of like this. I move my stop far away and then watch the charts. That's why you got to be careful not to get into too many trades at one time because you can't manage them. And that way, there is no broker doing the dirty deed of stopping you out. You have to make the decision to stop yourself out. My average stop on swing is about 45 to 60 pips. That's 10% of where I put my stop. But it feels real uncomfortable for some people to put a stop at 600 because they go, wow, that's a lot. That's a big loss. Yeah, it's a big loss. It's a huge loss, but it also will protect you against the catastrophic crash if you happen to be on the side of that.
You still call that your oh crap stuff?
Yeah. In better layman's terms, yeah. It's my oh crap stop. That means everything went bad.
You're cleaning up for this crew.
Yes, I do clean things up. I got daughters, and I don't even cuss on a golf course except under my breath. And if you can do that, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
This one's just going to hang. I think this one's going to be a flip on the power grid. Aussie US is still okay. Aussie US is still okay. Aussie US is still okay. This is a pullback area. But when this one changes, it did change just now. This one's just about done, I think. So we're going to slide this up just within a few. We're going to let algorithms take over. So we have traders who we know are using algorithms. When they hit these lines, they're going to bounce off of them. We're going to hope for that bounce because I know that our day is coming closer to an end. The odds of this working out within the next 20 minutes is slow and slim. So I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to dig down a little bit deeper, but we're a couple pips below our zone. We'll let it ride out. That's still a good zone. It doesn't mean it won't work out. I think it very well could work out. Looking at the 1 hour chart, but what's our overall trend? Yikes. It may not work out. 4 hour. Okay. Yeah, we're in a downtrend. When I go to my daily chart, where's the overall crowd at? Okay. Notice this, guys. I have what they call a sentiment meter. This sentiment meter tells me where the majority of traders are. And so if this is red, that tells me majority of the traders are long. I want to go short. If it's green, like the S&P 500, it means majority of people are short and they're losing their shirts because it's a long position as well. Oil is going up. Most people are short. Euro yen is a long overall. Now, this may not affect the 15, but when we're looking at the Aussie US, it is sitting at 1.03. That means there's no clear direction. Nobody really knows what to do with this particular one. So when you look at it, it makes all the sense in the world. Where's our playground? Right here. So I'm not so sure this will not work out. We're sitting on a daily demand zone, but it's not clear. But our playground is sitting, if I were to pull my fib numbers, my bet is around the 50 to 30 mark. 38. Yeah. It's sitting at the 38. There's my daggum not straight line. There you go. So this doesn't surprise me. It just doesn't. I just don't know where it's going to go. It's got a lot of support below to go up, but it's also got a lot of red or pink. So, I mean, it tells you right here there's no real clear direction. To me, it looks like it has a sideways market with a bias down, but it's going to take a while. It seems to be wanting to go down. I mean, you got a trend right here, and you got a new trend right here. And this is true trend. This is not momentum. And then, and you can tell by the SSI number, nobody knows. It's half and half. This is really the line in the sand at the 74.25 number. And we're going to keep playing the way that is. And let's see what we got. Anything else with the euro yen? Let's go look at the euro yen again. But yeah, and keep using that power meter. That's the key. Okay, good. Everything's starting to come back to the mean. This is what we want. We want, even if it's a slow go, if everything's lining up, that's what you want. We got one more crossover that we need, and that's it. But remember, Forex happens, it likes to come back to the mean and then continue its momentum. I think this is going to work out. I just think it may take extra time. The picture's right. Unless something comes on at the opening that changes everything, and that does happening. That does happen quite a bit. I've been in a couple of trades where it did that.
Well, everything's looking good for the down, though, for the short.
Yeah, yeah. Now, we haven't looked at this today, and I don't have, my fib tools don't work as quite as well on the GE30. But in my opinion, this is a buy right now.
I've actually set a buy stop.
Right where you're at.
I've set it for, hang on, let me get back to it. I've set it for 15,679.
Oh, so you're higher up.
Yeah, because
Let's see.
it's going through a bit of a zone right now. So once it passes through the zone on the 5 minute, then I'm in.
Okay, so looking at this one, I have no fib tools. I don't necessarily need them. My fib tools don't calculate on these big numbers for the FXCM platform. So what would I do if I didn't have them? I would do some guessing. There's your one line. Looking left, here's your other line. And then here's your right about here. I'd move it up a little bit because that's the recent pivot is always more important. So I've got some lines to play with. And if you notice, we're pretty well organized here. I'm guessing right here would be a pivot on the way back and a little bit higher up. It's right there. Notice I'm just drawing lines and they're pretty equal. And that tells me something. It tells me that this is my playground. What was your number again?
It was, hang on, let me get back there. 15,679. Going for the $5 move.
15,679.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a different color. 15,679. 15,6. And I'm going to put it in it as a green.
Got it 670 there, Bri.
Thank you. I can't see my keyboard in the dark. The beast still sleeps, so. Look at that.
Fine.
She's a lovely lady, but she's.
I know. Surprised you
still-
walk in the head with a fry pan half the time.
Yeah. And what's your target? $5 you said?
$5 move. Yeah.
70.
684.
What's your
15,684.
684? And we'll keep an eye on this too. So our euro yen is now positive, and I am going to probably get a big loss on the Aussie US. There's what she's looking for. Ooh, doesn't that look nice? Now let's blow this up. Notice where her target is. She didn't know my screen right before the pink zone. Why did that zone important? Because we have a pivot, drop, one candle, and a strong move away. So she's going to get out right before that. Why is she picking this as the bust out move? It's going to be hard, but it's going to be breaking out of a couple of things here. So we'll see what happens. We'll mark it for tomorrow. It won't happen today.
What's
Let's
it
see
look like on your 5, Brian?
Oh, that's right. You like the 5, don't you?
Yeah, I'm on the 5.
Let's see what it does.
I don't even have any.
Again, it looks good. You're out before the 5-minute zone. You're playing a breakout. I mean, your hardest part is going to be this little 673. That's going to be your hardest one. And she could also do a set and forget if she wanted to do it and play that round too.
Yeah. Well, I won't
I'm not so sure I'd do a set and forget on a 5-minute chart though.
No. I mean, I could put a stop in there, but I don't put my stops in. I just know where they are.
What do you normally do? 10?
Yeah.
Let's do it this way, just to get the picture for tomorrow. We can look at it.
Actually,
guessing.
you're a little bit off though, I think, from my hold on a moment. I'm 679 to get in. You've got it at
74.
By the looks of it.
I got it at 669. You're going in.
I've got it at 679. Getting out at 684.
Okay, I get you. Let's go. So you're getting out at 684. So you're higher up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a little beast there that you're going to work, and then you're 6. And you said your entry is what?
679.
Oh yeah, that makes a little bit more sense on your entry.
Yeah.
And then that means your stop is going to be right about here ish, give or take.
Ish. Yeah, exactly.
We'll see what happens. And the euro yen, let's take a look at. We're running close to our end of our time, correct, ladies? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. We've got like 8 minutes to go.
And I am going to squeeze this up a little bit, and I'm going to pull my target down and my stop down a little bit, since it's going to be if it gives me time to do so. Big loss on the Aussie US coming. Normally I wouldn't be at that. I wouldn't let it go 20-something pips. But for learning potential, that's the key. We're at 5-minute chart. I'm going to look at it on 15 since I'm going to let it sit and do its own thing. I need to be able to slide it over though. There we go. I am going to drop this down. Get a little bit more. And then I'm going to drop this down and give it a little less. And then I'm going to go to a 1-hour chart to see what, or 30-minute chart to see what's ahead for the drop. See if there's anything, because I may move my target even further. Ooh, that's nice. I'm going to pull this to here then. And I'm gonna put my stop back up here, back where it was. I like it better on it since I'm gonna leave it set and forget. It's above the pivot high, gives it a little bit more clout. If it's wrong, then it's gonna be really wrong.
Yeah.
So we've got that one. Then we've got the euro pound, which is going to be a similar picture, or should be. Because of the euro strength. You can see where I got in. We just had to be patient so far. This is going to work out pretty okay, I think. But I am going to move my stop down because there's no reason to lose money. Especially if we're going to be leaving the room for a bit. So this is what I'd do if I knew that I had something to do for the day. I'd just go in here. Hey, my trades. Now, some people would stay with them until their trade was working. That's perfectly fine too. Or taking it out. I'd rather play golf. Or go do something else.
If I knew how to golf, I'd rather play golf too.
I would rather play golf. So I'm going to drop this down to the pivot body low. And then as far as 30-minute, I like it overall. I'm going to drop it down just a tad here. I think I'm going to be out on Friday. I have family coming in.
Yeah.
And yeah, from California. You know, every family has nuts. Ours are showing up. They're dropping from the tree now. They're coming home.
How long they staying?
Just a few days. It's Kim's sister. She comes every 2-3 years to visit, and it's also her 50th birthday. So.
Oh, nice.
Her husband's picked up golf, and he's going to drag me out. I asked him how well he played, and we just play for fun. We don't keep score.
Then you know you're in trouble.
Then that tells me I need to go play the easy golf course.
Or is he sandbagging you? Maybe he's
no. He couldn't lie if he wanted to. He's hilarious. But okay, so looking at this, I'm going to clean this up a bit. We've already cleared this zone, and that tells me there's nothing else holding this down. I'm going to look at my strength meter one more time to confirm Aussie's weak. Aussie US is there. They have flipped here. We flipped here, and we flipped here. We flipped across the board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stop just in case, and I'm going to put it right to the pivot low again, right below that moving average, just to save a little bit of money. I'm already going to lose on this. We'll see how it works out. And I normally would just close it out, but just for sake of tomorrow. Normally I would close this out, and it's going to probably stop me out here anyway. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close it out because it's going to clear out that zone. take my loss. So that's going to be gone. And that's going to be gone. We took a lot of trades. We got 2 profitable trades going on right now.
Yep, good.
And we are still one. I consider that one trade. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 trades. Where's the other one? There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades. 5 out of 7. Not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Not bad. Not bad. Any questions? Now, what's going to happen with this tool? Just because you guys are going to be starting to use this tool, the supply and demand tool. Aren't we glad we got out? Once it breaks this and closes, the candle closes at the 15-minute mark, this zone will disappear. What will most likely happen is a new supply zone is going to be formed either here on the 15 or on the 5 because of this wick. My bet is it's going to be on the 5, but that's again, this is the fact that it's moving this strong away. It's hard for me to imagine there's not some sort of news that we don't know about. So, all right, guys, any questions before we shut this thing down?
No, Daniela says hard lesson today, but she enjoyed it.
It's good. Yeah. We learned how to take a loss. You learn what not to do. That's the key. Really, that's really what it is. And we saw what to do. So before we leave, let's go ahead and look at the Euro Yen since that's the one Kev pulled out and see what we're looking at. Yeah, we're doing good. I would have probably been out if I didn't move my target, and that's okay. We just keep plugging right along. All right, guys, we'll see you guys in the morning, bright and early. Invite some friends, invite your enemies, however you want to handle that. Either way, just invite them. It's all good. And hopefully you guys have a great day. Y'all take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Be well.
Great day, everybody. See y'all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
guys
God
later.
bless.